Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a while since I've done a Hackerbox video, other than the live stream I just did. But I've never intended to get away from making those videos, so we're going to get back to continuing to make them now. So let's get straight into it, and we'll look at this newest Hackerbox 107 dock. So let's go ahead and get right into it and see what we got. So first, we open it up and we've got, looks like a little ESP32 display. I think it's ESP, I could be wrong. So yeah, it's a little round display. And yes, it's an ESP right there. Okay, seems ought to be pretty interesting what we come up with. So let's go ahead and put that there. We got an antenna for a Wi-Fi adapter. And then we've also got this USB-A to USB-C adapter. And I assume that this is going to allow us to mount the screen and then mount it into this, which will be cool. And then this is just an AC 1200 wireless USB adapter. I'll have to look at more specifics on it when I plug it in. But that is a massive antenna for it. Might be something nice to throw on like a Raspberry Pi for a war driving rig. And then as mentioned a second ago, we have a USB 3 extension cable, which based on the pictures, which I'll show you in just a minute, it looks like we'll be able to plug this in, and then the code that hasn't been released yet, hopefully we'll see it really soon, but that'll allow you to monitor a couple of things. We'll be able to just sit on your desk. And then we have a DEFCON 32 Engage badge. And we'll actually go ahead and get this put together here in just a second. Then we have a cool little glittery sticker. We'll put that in my sticker box over here. And then we have our card. So yeah, it is an ESP32 round TFT. You get a bunch of in and outs you can do. It has 3 buttons on it. Micro SD card. Okay, I didn't realize that was micro SD card. That's cool. All sorts of stuff. So it'll be cool, some of the stuff you can do. And I didn't notice this, but it does have an external antenna connection too. So that's cool. Maybe turn it into a little war driving machine. That'd be cool. So that's it for what's in the box. Let's go ahead, and I've already got my soldering iron heated up. So we'll put all these extra stuff to the side, and we'll go ahead and get this badge put together. It's a good size badge. It's got a lot of little things with it, and ought to go together real quick. So it has these, they're RGB LEDs, but they have their own resistors already built in, and just cycle through the colors, which you'll see in a second when we get it powered on. There's no resistors, place for battery, place for LEDs, and a place for an on-off switch. So let's get the switch put on first, and then the battery holder. So the way I like to do these switches, get it out of the container, is I like to take my soldering iron and go ahead and get one pad tinned for it. And then take your switch and just melt that tin pad and move your switch into place. And then you let it cool off, and your switch is where you want it to be. Now you can tin the rest of the pads soldering the switch on. You do want to make sure that it flows pretty well, that it melts on not just the pad and not just the leg of the switch. It's like this one looked like it was just the leg of the switch, and I added heat to it and you can kind of see it suck underneath it. So based on like if it balls up or anything, you'll know. But that switch is on. That's super quick, simple. And now for these. So I've seen a couple of these different ones. Some of them will completely cover that copper pad, but these just barely do. But they're still just as simple. I'm going to actually end up using a lot of solder here. I'm going to take and tin this whole pad using a ton of solder. Then we're going to melt that solder. And we just want to make sure it does get hot. So careful leaving your finger on it too long. But and see, I don't like how it still looks like it's not completely covered. But I'll show you what I do to fix that in a second. We'll go ahead and go to the other side now. And I'm actually going to put the iron on the battery piece and melt solder on this pad, because I want it to melt solder on top, not just next to those. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see the difference. You can't really see the tabs for the battery side on this, but on this side you can. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hit this side again, flow this solder, add just a little bit more, and make sure it's kind of on top of those tabs. And there we go, it's on top of those tabs. So I'm not worried about that coming loose or anything now. And now we need to add the LEDs. So it says right here where you need to put them. Let's put long LED in the positive hole. And the way I look at this is the long LED is positive, so it's longer, and the negative lead is shorter. So negative, like some of it's been cut off, it's shorter. So we'll go ahead and get all of these put in real quick. And then once you get them in, they're real simple. They don't have a whole lot of, or they don't take a lot of solder or heat or anything. They solder in pretty quick. So there we go. We got all of them soldered in. I'll trim those leads in just a second. Let's get the battery out, make sure everything works. Flip it on, and there we go. And see, they are RGB. They just cycle through the colors rather than being addressable or anything like that. But they are RGB. They flash. They work really well. I think they're a great LED to use on badges and stuff. So now that we got those done, let's get our flush cutters, and we'll trim all these leads. So it even came with a little ball chain, so like you can hang it. I'll end up hanging it on my hexagon wall that I've been posting about. I have a lot more still to put up on it, but at some point I'll have a place for badges, even if it's not on the current hexagon wall if I have to build another one. Yeah, there we go. I didn't get to go to DEF CON 32, but sure would have liked to. But at least we get, stuff like this. Good learn to solder badge. Real quick, easy project. Okay, so I just took this little round ESP screen, TFT screen, and loaded one of the examples onto it. So, and one thing I noticed that you might want to take note of, when you do plug this in, even to get it to detect by your computer and by Arduino, you do need to hit the middle button, which is the power button, and then it'll come on. So I just uploaded this screen with these cool colors. It just keeps cycling through them. There are some instructions on the instructables about getting this to show computer hardware information, but you've got to go through and install some stuff on your computer as well. I'm not in a place to do that right now. I'm probably going to be rebuilding my computer really soon, so I didn't want to install a bunch of extra stuff. I've been having some issues with things crashing and the like, so I just went with the example here. So yeah, it's a fun little box. If you do go with like the computer hardware, obviously you can plug it into this, and then this will sit on top, and then it can be put on top of your computer, and you'll see a picture of it all put together in the instructables. But then also we did get this, and with the release of everything, this is a 5 dBi antenna, so still nice little thing to get. Using Kismet, play around with it, do some more driving. So we have that. But yeah, that's box 107. Nice, fun, easy box. Real simple. A lot of things that can be done here. It'd be really cool to build like a watch out of it. Just curious what it would take to add a power management board or anything. Might can be done through these GPIO pins. I'm not sure, but it definitely can be done somehow. Well, I'm not sure what I did there. I don't know if touching the back shorted it or what, but it's no longer working. I'll dig into that more. Hopefully it still works. And it's just the cable or something. Just to test if it's a cable, I'm going to use another cable I got from Hackerboxes. Oh, well that's cool. I don't remember what box this came from, but that's cool. It's got an LED light through the cable. Okay, so I might have killed that cable from twisting it and stuff too much. So be careful with your cables. The screen still works. Yeah, so that's, like I was saying, great hacker box. One thing I do want to mention is I have just released a new t-shirt specifically for Halloween, so I'll have a picture of it here, and I will also link it down in the description if you're interested. Thanks for tuning in for this video. We'll see you next time.